The worst thing for the photographer is the timing.
Nik Pekridis shares his story.
Wedding is about memory, is about traditions, is about family, is about friends, is about few portraits. It's not about fine art.
From his beginnings in Thessaloniki to becoming a world-renowned wedding photographer.
The couples, they don't know exactly what they're looking for because it's not something that they haven't experienced before.
As the visionary behind Pekridis Studio, he discusses the impact of photography awards, his passion for artistic storytelling, and how he strives for aesthetic perfection in every frame.
Any photographer can deliver you 10 beautiful images, but what you're looking for your wedding day, you need the full story from the beginning to the end.
Every single question you have about the wedding industry will be answered here. I'm Antonis Papadakis, and this is the Wed Podcast. Welcome. If you do like us, share some love and press the subscribe button. Let's start. Welcome, Nico. Very happy to have you here at the Wed Podcast.
Thank you, Antonis. Yasu. And thank you for having me, for the invitation and for having this podcast.
How did you start the wedding photography?
I think I've been grow after the dinosaurs. I'm so old. So actually, I born in the photography industry because of my father. My grandfather was there. I started shooting next to him when I was in the age of 12. And that was a long, long time ago. So I'm already a professional photographer since 1992. So it's 30 plus years.
2 years after I was born.
This is good. I'm looking almost the same age like you.
What's your approach capturing the unique story of its couple on the wedding day after all these years?
Actually, I was not a good photographer at the beginning. The problem that was back then, the education and the system that the photographers, the majority of photographers work was very, very different. And the knowledge was like, anyone has a knowledge back then, keep them for himself. There was not sharing. There was not social media. There was not YouTube. There was not books, actually. The majority of the photographer, and of course we use film, which was totally different thing, right? So we are experience on the terms of technical, but no experience on terms of artistic approach. So the wedding was like a negotiation about pricing and a negotiation about products, and not actually about capturing feelings or emotion from the wedding day. So the things start changing maybe after social media. That's where I'm thinking like, because the technology changed on digital on 2000.
From film to digital.
Yes, 1998 was the first digital camera, but the first mature way of capturing in digital came on 2005, I think, 2004, when big brand companies like Nikon and Canon produced the first DSLR. So then we start realizing how easy to capture the moment, the feeling, the emotion, and not just frames and print on 13 by 18 size to give away.
With the limit of the film.
Exactly, 36. I remember that we kept with in our bags 20 films, 20 rolls. So it's 720 images all day long. And if I'm not wrong, we had no preparations. We had only just a ceremony. And we had the couple getting to the studio for another hour. Everything was...
after the ceremony.
After the ceremony. And maybe an hour at the reception. That was like cutting the cake, no fancy big entrances and stuff like that. And that's it. That's all. So the things start changing after the social media, digital, when everything became easier, cheaper, and faster.
How many pictures are you capturing now with SD?
Actually, because I'm coming from the film era, still I'm trying to limit the clicks on.
But not around the 700.
No. But I'm taking not more than 1,500, 15 to 2,000 if I have a 12 hours wedding. So this is my, and I still have the bad habit to delete an image that I don't like straight on camera.
If you're not afraid doing this?
No, I'm not afraid about this, but again, and I'm not kidding, okay? I'm just, some pictures that we are taking today, when we should film, or a couple of years ago, we would delete immediately. Like the drag shutter or the back focus. And now it's called artistic, which is funny.
What about flash photography now?
Oh, I love flash photography. I'm still liking flash photography. I like flash photography. Again, it's a funny thing. Flash photography, as we teach, was to create the same situation like the ambient light, like the sunlight, so it's not going to be obvious. So the flash needs to be away from camera, 45-degree angle, with a deep shadow from one side, creating the 3D dimension of the image, and that's it. Recently, we start shooting with a flash on camera, and with a harsh light on the back, and we call it artistic again. And everything comes again from the fashion industry, the Vogue style, and all these kind of things, which is okay. I believe that the wedding industry creates circles after circle, and the trends come and go and merge, and we moved from one trend to another, which is good.
How you handle the pressure
balance
capturing this?
No, I don't think we have a pressure after so many years. The only pressure for me is the timing. The worst thing for the photographer is the timing. Imagine to have...
During the wedding day, you mean?
Yes. You have the ideas when you get into the place, and you have the ideas of how you're going to shoot, how you're going to place your bride or the groom, and I'm not talking about the candid moments or the photojournalistic moments, which is everyone can see or created, but I'm talking about the creative moments that you have the responsibility to take your bride or groom and create some wow shots. And you don't have time.
And then you need time.
Exactly. And you can create everything as a photographer, but not timing.
So can you walk us through your process from initial consultation with the couple to delivering the final images?
I truly believe that you need to be fast. When you get an email or a request, inquiry from a future couple wedding day, you need to be fast. You need to... I truly believe that the wedding day is not just the technical perfection or the amazing images, but is the experience of that you provide to the couple for the wedding day. And the experience starts from the first email. So when you start to creating the trust and the connection between you and the couple, I think you've done 50% of the job. So when you've done this one, then it's easier. They can trust you. They can trust you not just of what you say about their wedding day, but they can trust you on their wedding day as well. They can trust you after the wedding day when you, let's say, upsells for the albums, for the prints, for the enlargement, for whatever. So for me, is the total experience that you can provide to your couple is very, very important.
If we take out your personality, it's something special you are using during the consultation?
Photography, wedding industry, it's one-man show, most of the times. So if there was a big team behind you to help you create all this and use all these tools, I'm totally agree that the thing is that, do you believe that it's worth it to do it? Do you believe to spend extra money, extra time, extra energy for this one? Or you can move your energy to another place? This is my question.
So what advice do you have for the couples when it comes to consider which photographer they will book for their wedding?
I did a funny test with a couple that they asked me to be their photographer. So I said, okay, guys, can you send me some images of the pictures from any photographer that you like? Not only from my website, not only from my Instagram, but from any photographer. And the funny thing was that the couple sent me 20 different images. That if you want that 20 different images, you need to have at least 10 different photographers. So that is another proof that actually the couples, they don't know exactly what they're looking for, because it's not something that they haven't experienced before. It's not like food that you know how it tastes, and you know if you want it more salty or more pepper or more sour, you know? So wedding photography, for me, you need to have a lot of skills. It's not only about portraits, it's not only about fashion, it's not only about decor. It's so many things, and everything happens in so fast in one day. You see, to make a setup like this, you spend like 2-3 hours to fix a studio like this, just for the small interview, right? For 45 minutes. And if we are talking about, let's say, a scene in a Hollywood movie, maybe you need to make it like 10 times to create a scene of 45 seconds. And they expect to have a full wedding day perfect on 90 minutes or 60 minutes of filming and another 1,000 pictures in 8 hours, with no assistance, with no professional tools in terms of what we are using here or in Hollywood, and with no second chance. So imagine how difficult it's. And as you know, you are a videographer as well, right? So you know that this is something that is not easy to achieve, and be sure that you deliver to your couple that is going to be perfect. So what I'm giving to them is, I said, okay, guys, try to see a full wedding day, not an image. Any photographer can deliver you 10 beautiful images, but what you're looking for your wedding day, you need the full story from the beginning to the end. So ask from the future photographer to show you, to demonstrate you a full wedding day, and not only one. I mean, don't expect to have an image like in Santorini, with the blue skies and white domes and stuff like that, if you get married in Athena or in Thessaloniki or in
Crete.
Right? If your wedding will be like a traditional wedding with many people, don't expect to have a fashion look-like wedding what you have seen in Vogue. So you need to educate the future couples to what to expect from you. And this is very, very important, to have no misunderstandings at the end and to have the best experience between you and them.
So you demonstrate them a full wedding day?
The galleries. From many, many different time of the different seasons, different location. After I'm talked to them, let's say that they are expecting to get married 8 o'clock at evening. I said, okay, guys, did you think about if you get married 8 o'clock, when you go out from the ceremony, will be almost dark. So do you want pictures by yourself or no? They said, of course we want. Okay.
So there's no time.
Exactly. So how are you going to create the time or the light to have images of what you're thinking to deliver, to expect, to receive from the photographer if you have no time? So you need to educate them.
So your main advice is to
educate them
about the full wedding day.
Exactly.
And about the timeline, about the light, etc.
About the light, about the style, about if you have seen a wedding with 50 people in a Greek island and your wedding will be in Athens with 300 people on a small apartment, it's not going to be the same. They need to know.
So what's your style? What can you say that your style is?
What I like is not what I like. I like simplicity, good light. I can't shoot when the light is bad. It's like something, I'm very obsessed with the light. I'm very obsessed with the pose. And even when it's candid moments, I'm trying to take pictures, or I deliver pictures when the pose is good, when the light is good. When it's not good, I'm not giving to them. So, like I said, the trends come and go. So I can see myself changing on the matter of time. the last couple of years, of course, and because of the trend, if you keep doing the same thing, it's very boring for you, it's very boring for your couples, and it's very outdated. So you need to adapt and making small steps with your personality, with your style, as the time is going to change. It's like the food. So if you like spicy, you always like spicy. So if the doctor tells you that the spice is not good for you, you might be do it less spicy, but still it's going to be spicy according to other tastes. So it's the same thing.
During the wedding day, how many time you need for the bride
Now,
photo session?
usually 25 to 30 minutes. 25
Only.
to 30 minutes. Yeah. I don't believe that you need to. I told you before about a very good photographer, a friend of mine, photographer from Italy, is called David Bastianoni. Okay. So I remember him told me once that if you have an idea and you try to make it, and if you don't make it in 5 minutes, go. Do it something different. If you don't make it in 5 minutes, you are never going to do it.
You are doing so about 5 poses.
No, more than 5 poses. I'm talking about maybe.
If it's not working, so
I'm not gonna. I will try something that if it's not working, because it's not everybody proposing in front of the camera, or because of the idea that I have maybe not working, or maybe needs more time to set up light or whatever. Yes, I'm changing, but then I'm trying to balance. I'm not posing all the time. I'm trying to balance between posing and flow moments. And again, it's something that I learned from another photographer who said that you need to keep the energy level high. If you pose somebody, then immediately make his energy to lower down. So if you're creating energy to the group or to the couple and to make them run or jump or walk or whatever, then you uprise the energy again. So you need to create the balance of energy up and down, but not like this. Like more smooth balance, so they're not boring. And also, because if you pose somebody for 30 minutes, it's not professional model, right? It's gonna get boring. Even the pictures are good, have lack of emotion, lack of energy. So you need to find the perfect balance between pose and no pose.
What are some of the most memorable weddings you have in your career?
2. Once was many years ago. It was the first couple of years that I start to expose myself and out of the, because like I told you, I was shooting in a small neighborhood in Thessaloniki, and for me to start doing destination weddings back on 2009, 10, it was a huge achievement. So the first thing that I did myself was to try to present my work in many different sources. So back then there was a very big and good name website called www.bestofweddingphotography.com. And on that month, they put me on their first page like a dedicated photographer of the month. And most likely, the couple find me from that website. The couple was from Azerbaijan. But when I saw the number rings in my phone, it was plus 90 whatever. Call me, and when I called them back because it was Sunday, I said, "What are they looking for?" They asked me if I'm Nik Pekridis, if I'm doing weddings outside of Greece, and how much money do I charge? Yeah. And I give the price. It was very cheap. And they said, "Okay, I want you to book, and this Friday." I said it was Monday, and they called me for Friday. So when we flew, me and my friend back then to Baku, was a multi-million-dollar wedding, and when I went to the ceremony, to the reception area, and I saw the decor, and that there was another 20 photographers shooting next to me, and maybe 20 cinematographers with dolly, cranes, a directed desk with people live streaming back then. And they spent like maybe 5 million for a wedding. And I was charged like 2,000 euro. I was hitting my head to the first wall I found. That was a big lesson, that you never give a price before you have all the content. Because if I knew that I would be there just for the artistic pictures, and they had, I was negotiating totally different. I was not the price that I'm charging if I'm going to Athens. It was totally different. And make a sense, right? I mean, it's different if, it's like you are going to the Mercedes-Benz shop and you ask a car, or if someone calling you and say, how much did you sell a car? It's totally different, or
totally
a Porsche,
different, yeah.
right? And the second one was the first Jewish wedding, Jewish Orthodox wedding I did, 2018 in New Jersey, when I faced a true traditional, very, very traditional Jewish wedding. That was true hit for me. It was huge photojournalistic wedding, and almost, I remember a very, very funny story. I was shooting next to a Jewish photographer. So he invited me to shoot next to him. And he said, okay, he did some family portraits on that time. And he said, okay, take these guys, the girl and the boy, and take them, they get his fiancée, and they get married next month or 6 months or whatever. Take them some, but they don't touch each other, he told me. I said, how am I going to take them picture together if they don't allow to touch each other? He said, bring them close to each other, but don't touch each other. Okay. So there was across me, and I said, guys, get close to each other. And they came like maybe 50 centimeters away from each other. I said, no, let's get close to each other. They look at each other, and they get like to 25 centimeters. I said, no, a little bit closer. I don't want you to touch. Get in the first one in front of the other, but get close to each other. And they went to like 10 centimeters each other, and they look at each other and say, you know what? This is the closest we ever been together. And that was a huge shock for me, that they already they are supposed to get married in few months after. And that was a crazy, totally different weddings of what we had in our mind. But it's always, internationally, there are so many different castes and different traditions and different religions, that things that we are appreciate here, they're totally opposite on their...
somewhere.
Yeah.
In case you haven't done it already, please hit the subscribe button of our channel so that we keep growing. The more you help us grow, the more interesting professionals we will be able to host. So, subscribe today. What trends are you seeing in wedding photography right now, and how do they influence into your work?
Because of the social media again, and because of the Pinterest, Instagram, and the blogs, I think that, and not only now, the last couple of years, we give more things to emotion and moments instead of, it's posing, but it's not fine art posing. Maybe it's called fine art, the photography, but it's not fine art posing. Everything starts from the Vogue wedding, when the Vogue created the wedding magazine, and the film looked like approach. This one created this trend that we are living right now. There are small touches that they're changing the trend from now on, but as you know, everything started from Jose Villa a couple of years ago, when he started to shooting film, and when his work published on a Vogue, and everything started from now on. I think like the majority of the photographers today have much more tools to use trends, not against them, but for them. I met photographers that actually educate the first photographers, like Irvan, like Jerry Jones. When they start shooting digital, another story. When Yervan started shooting digital was maybe 1997, when digital starts. And when Yervan submit his work internationally, like WPPI, WPI is like one of the oldest competitions internationally. When he submit his work, there was 5 judges, and 4 of them, they step out because they didn't know how to judge and critique the images in front of them. Why? Because back then, the wedding industry, it was about studio, good lighting, good posing, and that's it. So if someone creates something different, how to evaluate, how to say that is good or not good, or what you make it or not to make it. So something that happens in 1995 create the trend that we start to follow in 2005, 10 years later. The majority of photographers that we already know, they get influence from them. What is like Beatles, okay? Or Rolling Stones. Now we're talking about rock music, right? But you need to go back to find who's influenced who. Mm-hmm. So it's like a wave. One creating the splash with the rock and the water, and the waves creates the remaining splashes.
You think that the original fine art photos...
It's just a name. It's not a fine art.
Now it's just a name.
Yes.
They will come back to, like, let's say, trends.
It's very difficult on a wedding day. Fine art means fine art. You need to spend a long time to create a fine art paint or fine art sculpture, a fine art photo. It's not possible to shoot 1,000 images in 8 hours or in 10 hours and called fine art.
For sure, no. But I mean, if the couples will be again interesting to create some images like this, if they would.
I don't think the wedding day should be or needs to be a fine art. Wedding is more like.
But was.
No, I don't believe that it was actually.
How fine art wedding photos was
fine
created?
Art wedding photos there was not exist. I believe that there was fine art portraits, fine art landscapes, fine art, but not fine art wedding photos. First of all, like I said, wedding is about memory, is about traditions, is about family, is about friends, is about few portraits. It's not about fine art. You don't want to be, even if we are talking about the most Mario Testino. Look what pictures he made for a royal family and the portraits he made. Was not fine art, right? Mm-hmm. Even that he was an artist in fashion industry. He's influenced so many photographers. So I don't believe it's just a name. It's like a marketing trick.
It's like all the videographers are cinematographers.
Exactly.
Cinematic style.
You can't. It's a cinematic style. Exactly. You have some elements in your work and give you a title.
Can you share some tips for the couples to feel more comfortable during the wedding day?
What I'm trying to do, actually, is I want to see the couple the day before, or if I can't, because sometimes we have back-to-back weddings. It's very difficult to have but I'm trying to understand what they're expecting. I'm asking them always on that wedding day, what is the most important part of the wedding day for you guys? If they are tell me that the ceremony, then I know how to approach. If they tell me that our friends, the party, I know how to approach. So depends of what their expectation. I'm trying to adapt my style according to their expectation. So I'm not that photographer who said that, no, this is my style. I can't move this one left or right from this one. I'm not that kind of person. I'm trying to be friendly. I'm trying to please them. It's their wedding day. It's not my wedding. It's not my experiment. If I want to have experiment, let's do a stylized shooting, or rent a couple, and let's do whatever. Let's do a shooting in Santorini or in Italy or in France. But the wedding day is not a place for experiment. It's a place for their experience to enjoy and to be part of this cycle and make them happy. This is what I believe.
You was during your career like the photographer, you want to make pictures for your portfolio more than memories for the couple.
Maybe one per wedding. But this is not about me. I'm trying first to please them. Maybe they can't understand what I'm trying to do. Maybe they don't like the picture that I have in my mind even at the end. Okay. But I'm not trying to push them on their wedding day. It's their wedding day. So maybe I have an idea and I said, oh, this is a nice location. I want to do an image like this. So I give you an example again. I was like 3 weeks ago in EOS. And I know on that time, when we finish the ceremony, we can go in a location when we have a perfect landscape, and the timing was perfect, and I knew how the picture would look like. But when we finished the shooting after the ceremony, I saw that the groom was like, "Oh, come on, I want to drink a beer. I want to go with my friends."
Like every groom.
And I tell him, okay, let's do one more thing here. And when I finished this one around the ceremony area, he said, this is the last one, huh? I said, hey, no worry. And I have, in my mind that maybe I can push them one more time before we leave to go to the location I want to. But I saw his feeling, and I saw his eyes, how he looked at me. And the bride was also, he was not so keen to follow on. So I said, okay, relax. It's okay. It's their wedding day. It's okay. I'm going to do it next time. So for me, first is the couple, and then is myself.
I'm asking you because I can see a lot of photographers that acting like I will do my portfolio from you.
If I want to make photography, go do a workshop. It's better. You have professional models, right?
And it's easier for you.
Yeah. What's easier? Choose the time, choose the location, choose the models, choose the outfit.
Perfect condition.
Right. Yeah.
How do you stay inspired and creative when shooting back-to-back weddings?
Jerry Gionis, I asked him the same thing. Jerry Gionis, before he became Jerry Gionis, was part of the Excite. Excite was like a franchise photography industry in Australia, then America with 2 studios, and then was Adam Alex in UK. I'm talking about 2010, 11, whatever. And Jerry, maybe in Australia when he was there, he shoot like maybe 100 weddings a year. And I'm asking him the same thing. How you get inspired? What are you doing to create something and keep yourself and not get boring? And he say, if I have one image better than the previous wedding per day, I'm happy. So try for one image. That's it. 5 minutes. Use the 5 minutes for yourself, for your playground. Do the job like you need to do it for your couple the remaining time. So take 5 minutes from the 8 or 10 hour shooting, and you might have the chance to do it for 5 minutes per session. Like me, 5 minutes for the grooms getting ready, or 5 minutes from bride getting ready. It's not a long time. So use the 5 minutes for yourself, for your playground, and leave the other things for the couple.
What about wedding photography competitions? Let's say WPI, PWS.
So WPI was the first and biggest competitions, as far as I know, ever created. Now it should be more than 45 years that's running the competition in Las Vegas. It's always in Las Vegas. I know that was start from a family business, and then they sold twice. So now it's running by a company who actually run exhibitions. So they exhibit different things, and they have this WPA also as well. How you can help from competitions in general? I truly believe that can give you expose, that can give you experience, give you confidence that you belong in a community, and makes you better. Why? Because if you think that you need to submit in a competition, then you need to create something better, something different. It's like you are running a show. Let's say that you are a fashion designer. You have a chance to create fashion and sell it to your neighborhood, or to present it among the industry. Or let's say that you are athlete. Let's say that you are great runner. Who knows?
Nobody.
You need to present that you are a great runner under a competition, right? So it's the same thing. No matter if your style is the trend or no, a competition allows the differences. So the competition, you can create something that is difficult to create on a normal wedding day. So that makes you better because you need to push yourself to create something different on a wedding day. That's why I truly believe that competition is very, very important. And I'm not talking about winning. I'm talking about competition in general.
Yep.
Now, the things might be changed on a matter of time because of the money. When something from hobby or from became just for the money, became a business, then you need to balance different things, right? So for me, competitions were very, very important because the first time I did SWPP, and I'm talking about 2007 or 2008, when I went to London and I've seen all the exhibition of the winning images, I didn't know anything about competitions. I thought that was one maker only from all the pictures I've seen hanging. So that was the good images from the competitions in print. And that makes me the idea of how to create something similar or smaller in Greece. And that was actually when me and another two friends, photographers, have the idea to create something similar to SWP in Greece. And PWS created. So PWS was a smaller, much smaller WPPI. But because of the PWS, we had the chance to bring all the huge names back then until a couple of years ago in Greece. So we had the chance, instead of traveling to Las Vegas to see a workshop with Jerry Gionis or Yervant or Balasco, or I think everybody came to PWS, all the big names. We made it here. And instead of spending a couple of thousands to fly at the other side of the earth and spend the money for accommodation, food, and flights, you bring in a Greek reality names like that, so big names. So PWS started on 2009 and still running. We are in the 15th year of running. We have stopped doing workshops the last couple of years. We run only the competition of photography and once a year in video, every February usually. And that was because of now the information about education is much easier compared to back then. So now, I'm talking about 2009, the majority of the photographers, we had zero knowledge, zero. I'm talking literally that all of the photographers had the basic abilities only. Now, because of all these elements and because of the first educational generation created by PWS, now we have great photographers, and this is a huge proof that we have great photographers and videographers, that every time that they submit in international competition, they get great results. We have many first places, photography and video, and I'm not talking about PWS, I'm talking about WPI, I'm talking about Cosmos, which is in Asia, I'm talking about WPE or WPV, I don't remember the name, that many photographers and cinematographers getting first places.
About WPPI, it's 45 years running competition.
Mm-hmm.
You think that the changing style in photography changes also the judges in the competition? So a new photographer now can win an award at WPPI?
For sure, yes. What is a competition? A competition is about 10 elements. what are the 10 elements? Light, composition, posing, presentation, creativity, originality, impact. So how can I have an impact or originality or creativity? It needs to be something that I've never seen before. That means that something new, something fresh, who creates the impact has a lot of chances to be a winner. Now, a great experienced judge in WPPI means that he has seen many images before. Doesn't mean necessarily that he has old mindset, right?
Right.
He needs to have the basic. He needs to know about posing, lighting, composition, because this is the foundation of the photography. It's like I said, now the drag shutter is like a trend, but that doesn't mean that is an artistic image, right? Everybody can do a drag shutter image now. Even if an iPhone, if you're using a manual setting, you can do a drag shutter. So, but to be a creative, to be a different, to be a originality, you can be a winner. So if we are talking about international competitions, and if we are talking about experienced judges, yes, I think that the competitions still are very powerful or in terms of helps you to improve and bring new, fresh ideas on our industry.
I believe you because I never been to WPPI and I want to go to see how all the process of the competition. I think it's also the same WPWS.
Has a similar
it's an open.
open. You can attend and watch the process.
Yes,
it's a live. The difference in PWS is that it's not printing. You know, it's like digital. You can watch the image on a screen. In WPI, it's a real 40 by 50 centimeters print. So on this competition, is also matter the print quality or the matte, which is around the print quality. So there are more elements, which is better.
The competition print the photos or it's photographer? The photographer.
The photographer do.
Okay.
The photographer print his own photo. So he decides what type of paper, how big will be. There are some limitations of how you can't print it like so small. You know, you have a limitation on 45 by 50 how big should be the image inside the matte. But the print quality or the type of paper, it's your choice. The maker choice, the photographer choice.
So it's a part of the judging.
It's a part of the judging for sure, yeah, because you might have the best image, but if you don't print it well and the blacks are muddy or the white has no detail, it's a way of point to lack of points, to lose points. And also, it's very, very educational, even if you are not submit any print, because you have 5 judges or 3 judges, depends of the competition, in front of an image who start talking about an image. And you might not having an image like this, but you got an idea what you're making wrong, what you're making right, how to improve yourself from others' mistake. It's huge educational process.
So you think about you, this is the best part of your progress in your photography style?
It helps me. No, I don't think that the style, I told you, the style is like a way to live, a way to, it's like the competition is your playground. The competition is to make you grow. The competition is make you be creative, thinking out of the box. The competition is not makes you money, losing money.
It's losing money, yes, but you gain the
experience ideas, give you energy and keep the flame open. This is the way you asked me before, how to keep back to back my energy
and inspiration.
This is the way to create your inspiration. The competition, if you think about the competitions, then, and you think, okay, how many weddings I did this year? 10, 15, 20. How many prints I have for competitions among those 20 weddings? Okay, maybe 5, 2, 3. Okay, why? Because the remaining was to please my bride, because the remaining was to please my wedding planner, because the remaining was to please the family, because the remaining was the part of the story of the day. I need to have the story of the day on a wedding day. So what about me? Competitions is about you. Competition is about to improve yourself.
About the improvement of yourself, you are doing a mentoring census.
I'm feeling very blessed about this. I'm feeling very blessed about this because the workshops and the mentoring helps me to travel to more than 45 countries all over the world. And before COVID, I started doing my solo workshops all over the world, but around 2016, and because of WPPI, because of the international competitions, because when I met people from all over the world from our industry, we create a concept which is called Fantastic Three. And me, with another two Asian guys, Kera Zifeng and Johnson Wee, we had the idea to create a 3-day workshop, and we create a website, and we expose ourselves through this one. Immediately, we have the first sold out for Los Angeles, and 2016 until 2020, we had maybe 30 different countries, from Latin America to deep Asia, Japan, up to 10 different cities in United States. So that was the biggest and most benefit I had for my life because of that. So that was the time when I decided not to follow the trend. Why? Because it was not ethical for me to follow the trend and teaching something different. Mm-hmm. And that's why when I stopped changing my style, because it's not possible. I mean, when you explain something about lighting, using flashlight, great posing, great composition, and suddenly when you're doing your job, you're creating something different, it's not ethical.
During these seminars, let's say, what's the most valuable lessons you want to give to other photographers?
What I get or what I want to give?
What do you want to give?
Something that also another photographer told me. His name is Rocco Ancora, one of the greatest photographers in Australia. He's a grandmaster. And he told me that, think about the knowledge. The knowledge is like a full glass of water. So if you have a full glass of water of knowledge, if you want to add more, you need to share this glass with someone, drink, so you have space. Otherwise, you can't put anything inside.
So what's actually the advices you're giving to...
This is about sharing. This is about sharing the industry, sharing the education, sharing the knowledge. It's one community. We need to keep running, helping each other. We are competitors on terms of the pricing maybe, or when, but if we are talking about internationally, weddings are enough for everybody. It's enough for everyone. So keep the level high. Don't underestimate yourself. Selling properly. Have a great experience and good and funny with your couples. Enjoy the day and make them remember this day forever. And that's it.
It was very nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for all your information.
Thank you for having me, Antonis.
And I'm waiting for part 2.
Always. Thank you.